Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. Driving home from work. I made a video, about one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Triple H, going into the Hall of Fame. I got a text today from my good buddy, Justin Bryan, RKO Infamous NWO. I was texting him about the Observer Convention, and he congratulated me on Triple H going into the Hall of Fame, saying that was my guy. I texted him right back, and I said, yeah, but there's probably no chance I'm going to be able to go to the show because I'm so kind of like scared about time management that I don't think I'll be able to go to SmackDown. Then I was kind of thinking, like, if I bought a SmackDown ticket, would I be able to go? Because it's a live show. Would I be able to go into the arena once I knew SmackDown was over just to see the Hall of Fame ceremony? Because it's like a combo ticket where you see both events. Or because the show had already been on for 3 hours, would they lock the doors and not let me in there? I was kind of thinking about that. But yesterday, I really could not believe the amount of hate I saw on the internet about Triple H going into the Hall of Fame. Wrestling Observer Live, I watched the show yesterday when I got home, and they were really making it think that, like, Triple H put himself into the Hall of Fame. They did not believe the story of Undertaker and Shawn Michaels pulling a ruse and basically showing up and invading that meeting that Triple H was having, where they announced him going into the Hall of Fame. They pretty much made it seem like Triple H, called his own number in the huddle and basically said that he was going into the Hall of Fame. I understand that there is a lot of negativity about Triple H in WWE from 2005 to 2011. I can honestly tell you that after WrestleMania 27-ish, I think Triple H went into business for WWE instead of himself. He never really used himself to, like, put people over on the way out, I guess you can say. They kept him as, like, a piece of importance. Maybe you can say that, like, during Saturday night's main event, where they let Kevin Owens put his hands on Triple H, and they kind of bumped into each other, and Hunter was mad. Kevin was trying to, like, show that his, like, him being a grizzly bear, I guess you can say, like, he was trying to be ferocious, and he didn't care who came out of the back. We've seen, Kevin Owens headbutt, Vince McMahon when he was in charge. We saw him fight Shane McMahon to the death on occasions. I can honestly say that I honestly believe that there was a time, when Triple H, used his influence and his power to hold down people like Rob Van Dam, or, it's even been, talked about on the Major Wrestling Figure podcast and on the Cardona's Z True Hollywood Story podcast, that, him and Triple H had a rocky relationship. Triple H came on the show that one time, but a lot of times he kind of felt like, Triple H was holding him down. And that's just like two that I can pull off the top of my head. But I really don't think that's the way it is. And if you don't believe that in this world, Triple H deserves to be the headlining main event guy for the Hall of Fame, who out there are you going to be the headliner? I'll give you the argument that you can make Bray Wyatt could be the headliner, but then again, like, go back to WrestleMania 31 when they put Macho Man Randy Savage in there. They kind of put him in as a supporting player because I don't think they wanted everybody to walk out of the San Jose Center that night, crying because of the fact that Macho Man Randy Savage isn't with us anymore. Maybe you could put Sid in there, a former WWF as well as WCW champion. I don't know. Honestly, I think they painted themselves into a corner at WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles with Rey Mysterio going into the Hall of Fame. We still see Rey Mysterio, you know, pop up on Raw as well as SmackDown whenever he's not injured. He wrestled on Monday against Kofi Kingston. And I don't think... I think they kind of got held up because they didn't have anybody to be the main eventer. I don't know if it really added to the Rey Mysterio versus Dominic match to have him be the headliner that year. I think it was a lot like WrestleMania 26 with Ted DiBiase being the headliner. Ted DiBiase was an awesome wrestler before he went to a WWF in Mid-South. When he was in WWF as the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, one hell of a character. But I think they really thought that they were going to get the Ultimate Warrior that year, and they didn't get him. But I'm not trying to, like, you know, kick dirt on Rey Mysterio, saying that he wasn't a good Hall of Famer. I just don't think that he was the guy that they wanted, and maybe some way down the road we'll hear the real story about who was supposed to be the headliner that year. But why not it be Triple H? Why wouldn't he put himself in there? It's not like Triple H has been in action in the last 2 years. I think that would have been a good time for him to go in. But Triple H is my guy. I'll defend the guy until the day I die. I think that his stock as a wrestler has only gone up since his retirement because of his work that he does for the company. I was going to say in The Office, but I think he's like kind of like bigger than The Office is now. And like the production style videos of him showing like his vision for wrestlers when they make their entrance to go along with their themes, and, you know, working with the people, you know, with the cameras to make sure that they're shot in the right light. You know, he's even out there during the Rock promos when the Rock comes back. I think the guy's bigger than wrestling at this point. His stock's only going to go up. I think that we're lucky to see him go into the Hall of Fame. Probably the only, you know, bigger Hall of Famers out there that aren't in the Hall of Fame. One's never going to happen. That'd be Vince McMahon. The other one would be The Rock. Who knows when he thinks he's going to have enough time on his schedule in order to go in. Maybe he doesn't want to go in until he knows that his days of having a chance to wrestle are done. But I don't know, man. I don't think that this is like a glory, like look at me, all hail Triple H kind of thing. Look at his eyes, look at his face. When, you know, they do the Shawn Michaels music, he didn't know that he was coming out, and he didn't know, you know, what's going on. But we'll see what happens with this Triple H Hall of Fame. I don't know why people hated it, but I'll tell you this much: I loved it. Oh, by the way, who do you think's gonna induct him? I think Shawn Michaels or The Undertaker could be like easy picks. Maybe they find some way to do it together. But in my mind, especially with her being on the McAfee show and her having her own ESPN show, I think Stephanie inducting Triple H into the Hall of Fame is the best bet. Stephanie's my pick.